Warning: Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Because in a sentence we can say that psychologists that are currently available for dealing with black children do not really meet the needs of black children, nor black people as a whole. Psychology, like many other disciplines, it's based upon the history and experience of a people. The psychology that's available to black people, that is used for teaching black people, for a whole host of things that we use psychology for in this culture, is really European psychology and is based upon the European experience. And to try to transfer that psychology to black people, to try to explain the black psyche in terms of a psychology that's not related to the history and experience of black people, is really to misuse that psychology and to mislead black people.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click your link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, welcome back to another Sunday service. How are you guys doing today? I hope you all are well. I hope you've been having a beautiful Sunday thus far. I'm not going to hold you up here too long. Just something that I really wanted to speak about. Due to the whole situation of everybody coming out when they need us, screaming how they were there for us and all this other stuff. We marched with you guys, all this other nonsense. And I saw a video the other day that hit me in the head like a bag of bricks, because it reminded me of something that I studied when I was in psychology, when I was taking a psychology class. And I want to talk about it here today. I want to really break down the play. I want to break down the game that they've been playing. And I want to connect the dots. I want to connect the narratives to where it's supposed to be. Before we do so, before we go there, put a 1 in the chat if you know anything about the Ben Franklin effect. Put a 2 in the chat if this is fresh to you. And while you guys do that, I'm going to go ahead and give the shots outs. Salute, shalom, and a B1 shout out to Reparations Nation. Our brother Black Truth United, thank you for being here, family, and also thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, family. Aquarius Minded, salute to you, family. Thank you for being here. Bad 72, my system is ductwork. How you doing? Glad to see you here, family. Let's see who else we got here. Priscilla Taylor, thank you for being here, family. Black RU, salute and thank you for being here, family. KK Speaks, salute and thank you for being here, family. FLA Trucker 1024, thank you for being here, family. Our brother AO, thank you for being here, family. Tay the Man, thank you for being here, family. Leonard Deyuda, thank you for being here, family. All right, so I'm seeing the majority of no's. I don't see no ones, so unless the B1 also represents 1, Leonard. So I'm glad to be able to bring this to you, family. I'm glad to be able to bring this to you. Let's get into it. So let's talk about first what the Ben Franklin effect is. Now, salute and B1 to our sister Aish. Thank you for being here, family. Thank you. I am glad to see you here. All right. So let's first talk about what the Ben Franklin effect is. So the Ben Franklin effect is a paradox. There are many paradoxes that is taught about within psychology. However, the Ben Franklin paradox was named after Ben Franklin because of something that he suggested in one of his books. But what it is basically to define it, people tend to like someone more after they do that person a favor, even if they didn't previously like them. Salute to Gloria Murray. Thank you for being here, family. So people tend to like someone more after they do them a favor, even if they previously didn't like them. Salute to Astarte Jones. Thank you for being here, family. Now, it sounds simple enough, right? It isn't. It sounds simple, but it's a lot more complex than it leads on to be. Now, when the origins of it, when Ben Franklin wrote it in his book, he spoke about this political rival that he ended up winning over. And he wrote about how he won over this political rival. So Franklin went to the man that he was rivals with, and he asked him to borrow a very rare book. After receiving the book and returning it with a thank you note, Franklin noticed that the man became much more friendly towards him. Franklin wrote, and I quote, "He that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obligated." I'm going to read that again. He that once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obligated. And what does that mean? What he's saying is, if somebody, salute to Hurricane IQ, thank you for being here, family. If somebody does you a solid, let's say you go to your neighbor's house and you ask your neighbor to borrow a cup of sugar. If the neighbor says, "Oh man, no problem, anytime," he gives you the sugar, 9 times out of the 10, that person will be more willing to help you out anytime you need it, rather than someone who knocked on your door and borrowed a cup of sugar from you. You getting where I'm coming from, family? So if you were to go to a neighbor's house, and I'm going to repeat this because I'm going to hammer this home, because we ain't going to be here long, but it's going to be very worth it. If you go to a neighbor's house and you knock on the door and you ask for a cup of sugar, and the neighbor's like, hell yeah, man, anytime. I got you. Don't even trip. And he gives you a cup of sugar, that person would be more willing to help you out in a bind than somebody who knocked on your door and asked you for a cup of sugar. You gave it to him with the same energy. Oh, no problem, man. Just go ahead and don't worry about it. I'm here anytime you need me. If you was to do that to someone, they would be less likely to do something for you when you're in the bind. This is what the Franklin effect is. So, psychologically, what happens is it actually has ties to cognitive dissonance theory. I don't know if you guys know anything about the cognitive dissonance theory, but when someone does something nice for another person, immediately, especially if they don't like the person, they have to subconsciously make a reason for why they're doing it. So they will convince themselves, even if they didn't like you before, that they really must have liked you in order to do A, B, and C for you. Oh, salute to you, Black Truth. No worries, family. I already know. Catch the replay when you get a chance. I'm interested in this. It sounds like a gift destroyed a heart. There you go, family. Hey, make sure you check it out because I guarantee you it's very much what you just laced there, brother. Trust me. Salute to AB. Thank you for being here, family. So if you do something for somebody who you didn't like before, your mind has to now justify why you would do something for someone that you didn't like. And so you would tell yourself that you must have liked this person all along. This is the cognitive dissonance theory. Because you would ask yourself, why would I help someone I dislike? And your brain will go back and forth with yourself, trying to figure it out until it gets to the resolve and the conclusion to resolve the discomfort in your brain that you're having. The brain will conclude, I must like the person in some shape, form, or fashion. Now, the Benjamin Franklin effect has been applied in many different ways. It's been applied in conflict resolution. It's been applied in leadership roles, excuse me. It's been applied during negotiations. Let me give you a few examples. So with conflict resolution, asking for a small favor can help break down animosity. If you was to, let's say you're at work and you're going head to head with someone at work, and you guys really don't talk, you really don't like each other, but you guys, it didn't get too bad yet to where, you want to catch hands or throw hands, right? And you go to this person and say, hey, I've really been noticing how well you write. I've been reading a lot of your notices that you've been putting out. And I really would enjoy and respect your opinion on something that I'm actually working on. Do you mind? Do you have a couple of minutes to take a look at this? By doing that, 9 times out of the 10, that person will be like, yeah, I'll take a look at it, no problem. They'll look at it, they'll give you their feedback, and then you say, yeah, you know what? Thank you, man. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to look out for me. You know, I know we haven't quite seen eye to eye, but you know, I want to make a step in the right direction. You want to go out to lunch sometime? Let's go out to lunch. Oh yeah, I'm open. What that's called is, whether they knew it or not, that's called the Ben Franklin effect. Salute T1 Productions. Thank you for being here, family. You'll make a friend, maybe. Exactly. And that's exactly the goal, right? Now, as it's used in that way, it's also used in many different ways negatively too, but we're going to get there. Salute Uncensored Truth. Thank you for being here, family. So in a leadership position, right? Good leaders may ask a team member for help to build rapport amongst the team. You know, there's a saying that says the difference between a leader and a boss is that a boss will have people pulling a rope attached to a throne while he sits in the throne. Exactly. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there, my sister. Shout out to you. A leader, he won't sit on that throne while you guys are pulling. He'll give you the direction to pull, and then he'll jump on one of the ropes and help you pull. That is a leader. Salute my brother Maneuver. Thank you for being here, family. Negotiation-wise, requesting a minor concession can warm up difficult counterparts. Requesting a minor concession can warm up difficult counterparts. So if I'm reading a contract and I want something more put into the contract, I might start by removing a small percentage of something that I'm supposed to get in the contract. That will warm up the other side to listening to what you actually want in the contract. Now, interesting enough, the reverse effect can also be true. If you harm somebody, you're more likely to dislike them afterwards. Let me say that again. If you harm somebody, you're more likely to dislike them afterwards. Again, what's happening is you have to resolve that cognitive dissonance between you and your actions and your self-image. Sidonian Snow, thank you for being here, family. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, charge it to my head, not my heart. So as I stated once before with the cognitive dissonance, if you do something for someone you didn't like, the reverse is also true. If you hurt somebody, now you must explain to yourself, your brain will sit here, go back and forth trying to figure out, well, why would you do this to somebody and the person didn't harm you or anything like that? So your brain will come to the conclusion that, well, I must not like this person. This person must be a horrible person. This person must be A, B, and C. Everything under the book. Now, why am I talking about the Ben Franklin effect today? It's very, very simple, family. Whether you know it or not, this is what they've been using on foundational Black Americans for the longest time. This is what they've been doing to foundational Black Americans and what they've been using on foundational Black Americans as of recently. I'm not even going to take it back hundreds of years. We can take this back to just the ICE raids. Let's get into some examples, family. One of the ways that they use it against foundational Black Americans, the Ben Franklin effect, or the Ben Franklin paradox, is tokenism as psychological manipulation. Tokenism as psychological manipulation. And what does that mean? Well, institutions might select a few Black individuals, foundational or otherwise. 9 times out of the 10 is going to be otherwise, is going to be a tether. And they select these people for positions of visibility and opportunity. It may not be power. It may not be power. Salute the Black RU. Exactly. Crumbs. But they're selecting these people. They're not putting power in these people's hands. But what they're doing is they're giving them visibility for everyone to see. Hey, look at my token Negro. Or an opportunity to where that token Negro knows he wouldn't have had that opportunity otherwise. The organization might then ask them to advocate or vouch for the system, effectively doing it as a favor, legitimizing it. They're looking at it as a favor, but what they're actually doing is using their voice to legitimize a system that is anti-Black by nature. Do you guys need an example? Salute to our brother Torian Reigns. We could talk about Terrence, the tap dancer. We can talk about officer or former officer Brandon Tatum Tots. Insert name here. Every bootlick you see running around here disrespecting foundational Black Americans in order to get a pat on the head, that's what they're doing. They're using the Ben Franklin effect. Well, the Ben Franklin effect has been used on them. Those asked to do a favor for the system, i.e., promote diversity initiatives that don't lead to no real change, DEI, may feel more tied to it, making it harder to criticize. This is the tokenism part of it. Now, the impact of this situation, this will soften the dissent and create internal conflicts within the Black community, discouraging broader resistance, if you will. While the system that tokenized that Negro remains largely unchanged. Candace Owens, exactly, my sister. Kundance or Can't Dance Owens. So these folks, the tokens, they're getting, or excuse me, they're being manipulated by the Ben Franklin effect. Let's talk about another example. Y'all know all the white folk, and not just the white folk. We're gonna put right now. Let's take it into right now. But you guys have heard white folks say this too. But right now, you got the Latinos and the Mexicans going around saying this as well. The "you owe us" narrative. The "you owe us" narrative. Oh, well, if it wasn't for white folks fighting in the Civil War, slavery would still be a thing. So y'all don't need reparations. Oh, we marched with you for George Floyd, so you should be marching with us for illegal immigration. Now, what this is, what happens is basically, put it like this. All the folks that said they stopped with the civil rights movement, right? So after civil rights policies and advancements or whatnot, some institutions or individuals suggest that Black communities owe them gratitude or loyalty. Now here's the twist. While individuals or institutions may reinterpret these changes as, I don't know, favors to the Black community, even if the change was hard won by Black citizens ourselves, no matter what it is, they try to take credit for whatever we fight for and force them to give us. The impact of this, the framing in itself, creates psychological pressure on Black individuals to return the favor. And usually they're doing it to do what? Get you to be quiet, get you to stop complaining, get you to be grateful. And all that does is reinforce that same power imbalance. Right? So right now, one of the best examples is the fact that we're saying we're sitting this protest out because of the fact that nobody really rocks with us, so we're not rocking with anybody. Plus, y'all want us to go out there and march for something that is illegal to begin with. While y'all sit here and turn around try to speak about our criminality, you want us to go out there and stop for y'all to have criminality. And we're like, no. Yes, KK. So we broke the Ben Franklin effect. For the most part, yes. We broke the Ben Franklin effect with the Democratic Party. We broke the Ben Franklin effect with all these so-called Black, brown, minority groups. We're breaking this effect left and right, and that's what's getting everybody nervous. Because trust me, more people within the political realm knows about this because it's used politically a lot. But I want to give you an example of the "you owe us" or the "we should be stopping with other people" narrative. Let's go here, family.
Can we be fucking for real, man? Nobody's asking you to take a bullet for your Latino brothers and sisters. Nobody's asking you to do some superhuman shit. You know what I'm saying? But when you are living in a city that has their motherfucking name, when everything that you created in land that was theirs, it is your responsibility to show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about the chicken and the egg. There is no chicken without the egg. And the egg is Los Angeles. Los Angeles. It is not Los Angeles. You feel what I'm saying? Since y'all want to talk about history, let's not just focus on this last election and them fuck-ass statistics y'all keep quoting. Let's talk about how when we were enslaved, there were those of us that fled to their country, to Mexico, and were given asylum. You feel what I'm talking about? Like,
that's the "you owe them" narrative.
Let's really be honest about this shit. If we're gonna talk about history, we're gonna talk about statistics, because they exist as well. Ultimately, bro, you ain't gotta protest, you ain't gotta boycott, you ain't gotta donate, you ain't gotta do none of that shit. But to get on here and to tell people to not help somebody in need is one bad spiritual energy, and that shit is gonna come back to you. And two, it holds you liable for everything that is being done to that group, because you are now actively working in support of the aggressor. You are working to help people, not help them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, now you deserve to be held accountable as well. Yeah, bro, now and forever, man. Viva la raza.
Family. Family, 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 family. Number one, Los Angeles was founded by Black Americans, foundational Black Americans to be more specific. Let's be very clear about that. See, they love to sit here and say Los Angeles is Los Angeles, when the folks who built Los Angeles never called it Los Angeles. That came much later. Much, much later. And he wanted to talk about the history. We know the history of, no, not the fact that Mexico allowed slaves to run over there because they abolished slavery. The fact that they begged the Seminoles to come over there and protect their borders. If you remember, they just got out of the situation where they was fighting an ongoing war. And they needed help securing the borders. So they begged the Seminoles to do so. And the person who allowed, abolished slavery in Mexico, Vincent Guerrero, whatever, I don't roll my tongue like they do, but Vincent Guerrero, they killed the man. They unalived him because they didn't like the fact that he freed the slaves in Mexico. So this is a whole nother example of them trying to convince you to go stomp for a bunch of people that never stomped for you. But why? It's because we've been stomping for everybody else, which gave them the thought in their mind that no matter what they do, they're owed our loyalty, because we were the neighbor who gave them the sugar with no problem. Every time we went to them and asked them for some sugar, they said, I ain't got none. They said, oh, you can't go to the store and get your own sugar? I need the little bit of sugar I got. So now that we ain't giving out no more sugar, they're running around here mad as hell asking everybody, well, where's the Black community with the sugar? They got more than enough sugar. That's evil. They're going to have karma come back on them because they're now supporting the fact that I don't have sugar. Salute to Bad 72. My parents would say, even a dog will get tired and lay down. Exactly. Salute Affectionate Earth. Thank you for being here, family. This is where we're at. Let's go here.
Like the point of people that are like, oh, that's not our problem. Like if they could deport Black Americans, they would find a way to do so. And that's like, I think it's not just a Hispanic issue. I think it's an everybody issue. And the biggest problem is they want to divide us. They don't want us to get together. And I think like showing support all around and having everybody come together, that's power in number. Like the point of people that are like, oh, that's not our problem. Like
now the whole power in numbers conversation is the exact same thing. If they was concerned about powers in numbers, salute DJ Black 909. Thank you for being here, family. If they was concerned about power in numbers, they would have been linked up with Black Americans. They would have been on some real black and brown allyship. California would be a utopia. And as somebody who came from California, I can tell you California is definitely not a utopia. Let's be very clear about that. Let's go here.
You know what the craziest part is? You know, ICE detained like 2 black men in Philadelphia, right?
Exactly.
Thinking they were illegal, and come to find out they were just regular Black Americans.
That's what I'm saying.
Just regular Black.
That's what I'm saying. So we are in the same.
Family, notice that he said that ICE detained and not deported. See, they love to say, oh, a Black American got detained, and then to come to find out it was just a regular Black American, which means that person got released. When they're talking about other people, they make sure to say deported. They're detained at an ICE facility awaiting deportation. But when it's Black folk, Black Americans, they're saying, oh, yeah. Well, they come to find out, they arrested him. Come to find out he was just Black American, as if he still got deported after they found out that he was Black American.
Same position.
Yes.
Because of that. So I'm looking at it from a perspective.
We are not in the same position. We are not the same people.
I'm saying
Just regular Black.
that's what I'm saying. So we are in the same position.
Yes.
Because of that. So I'm looking at it from a perspective of, like, and don't get twisted. Like, I don't think anyone deserves to be mistreated or treated wrong or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Am I still going to get up and, stand up and do this? No, I think Black Americans have gotten the right to sit back.
Sit back and just let play out at this point.
At this point. Because of the fact that if we go out and stand out there, we're putting ourselves at risk and in trouble. And we do that. We've done that enough, and we've always done it. And we can't keep losing brothers and sisters of America to that stuff.
Can I let you know some real ass?
Go ahead.
Just to cut you off. Just about the protest specifically. I have family who are Haitian.
Yeah.
I got friends who are Trinis. I got friends who are Jamaican. When I tell you, they even told me, like, listen, I know Jamaicans, almost 80% of them voted for Kamala. Haitians, almost 90% of Haitians voted for Kamala.
Yeah.
So that even Haitians, Jamaicans, and Trinis are like, man, that. We sitting out on this one too.
Yeah.
Like, we stood up for Black Lives Matter because we hated seeing Black Americans and people who look like us getting shot. And they're just like, you know what, bro, we sick of this too. At a certain point, something got to give.
Yeah.
But then I had a conversation with my dad actually recently about this. And he told me the realest shit. He said, I've never seen Black people, when he said Black people, he's talking about Black Americans, Dominicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, just Black people in general, people who are Black. Quote Dr. Martin Luther King so much, and then forget his most important quote: "And injustice against one person, injustice against all." And he's just so frustrated because he's like, it's the fact that now as Black people we're turning our backs on everybody.
Family, Martin Luther King's most important quote has never been said in the mainstream media and is always ignored by these politicians and tethers and everyone else who wants us to join in their fight. They always love to say the injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. But when we really look at his most important quote, where he said, we're coming to Washington to get that check, everybody acts like it never was said. Salute, Lemonade. Thank you for being here, family. Everybody wants to act like it was never said. But you know what? That's another part, because I still got some more to go on this on the Ben Franklin theory. Another way that they was able to use this against us was using their tokens as surveillance or, as cooperation under duress, right? Back in the civil rights movement, they would find somebody that's a part of the movement, who's a part of the movement, get them on something that's a petty crime and tell them that they're going to give them years or whatever the situation may have you, effectively flipping that person into an informant, effectively flipping that person from a civil rights activist to civil rights surveillance. This is what they were doing during COINTELPRO. Sometimes even using them to take out the person or the leader of whatever group they're a part of. Same thing as a monkey wrench. Exactly, my sister. That's exactly what they use them for. Sometimes using them to, and a great example would be the death or unaliving of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton. People around them were the monkey wrenches. People around them were the people who was going back and forth playing the informant, giving the FBI all the information that they needed that they didn't have if they couldn't get it through wiretaps or following somebody. This is what they do. See, some agents and informants, they later on, they tend to feel more favorable towards the individuals they surveyed because they know they were doing wrong. Everybody who was made into an informant during the civil rights era that didn't do anything violent to the group, but saw the violence happen to the group, a lot of them have come out remorseful because they know what they were doing was wrong. But they were being manipulated to be manipulators as well. Exactly. And this is how. They killed all our black movement leaders using the Ben Franklin effect. I'll let this dude finish and then we'll go back. We'll continue.
But he's like, I can't get mad at black people for doing it. I can't get mad. Because we've stood on the front lines getting thrown at them, like bottles of piss. Anybody who's known my dad knows that he's been here since basically the civil rights movement. And he was.
So your father is an immigrant. Your dad has been here since the civil rights movement. And that's why he believes that Martin Luther King's most important quote was, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. I already felt that in my soul. Because if you're a foundational Black American, the most important quote is when he was talking about going to Washington to get that check. And the second most important quote from one of his speeches would have to be when he was explaining how the government was giving away millions of acres to people who wasn't citizens here while shutting Black Americans out of getting the same benefits. Subsequently, oddly enough, both quotes come from the same damn speech. Both quotes come from the same damn speech.
Was on the front lines in New York City marching with black people. He barely could speak the language when he first came to this country.
Right.
And he's like, yo, I've seen this for 50, 60 years. I'm done. He's like, I don't got that much time left on this earth, but I just want black people to love each other. And if the only way we can love each other is to ignore this and just stay enclosed in our spaces, then we have to do that at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah, and I don't want anything wrong to happen to people. I know it's but at the same token, it comes to a place where we try. My thing is this, to all the Spanish-speaking Latinos or even people who come from different countries who are illegals.
Right.
Call out the white people. Call out the Asians. Call out different people, because we've done this every single time. We have a history of doing this. Call out other races to stand up. I promise you, if you call out white people to stand up, whenever white people get up and protest and do stuff, cops don't do it as much.
Yeah.
They let.
All right, family. And he's right about that. When white folks go out there, we saw how that turned out, didn't we? We saw how that turned out. Salute to the big black God. Thank you for your Cash App, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. All right, and I appreciate your contribution, family. Okay, so Another way that they use the Ben Franklin effect against us is performative allyship. Excuse me, the help me help you people, the your next people. That's basically what it is. I don't really need to go too far into it, but I'll give you just a little bit. Non-Black individuals or groups may offer public gestures of support. Like, I don't know, putting a BLM sign in your window or putting a BLM sign in your yard, saying that you marched with us when George Floyd was unalived, and expecting Black people to validate or affirm you. The truth of the matter is, all they're doing is basically using us and extracting unpaid emotional labor from Black Americans, and reduce the allies' motivation for deeper scrutiny. That's it. That's it. They're using you and extracting unpaid emotional labor from you. That's why they try to keep everybody so emotional. And I say this all the time. What? An emotional mind is an easily manipulated mind. And that's exactly what they've been doing within the Democratic Party, trying to keep us emotional, right? Y'all know, every time we talk about how the civil rights, the Democrats ain't did nothing since the civil rights bill, people will always try to say, well, it wasn't the Republicans that passed the civil rights bill, so y'all should be loyal to the Democrats. This is the same thing as if we didn't fight for the civil rights bill. As if we wasn't turning up for the civil rights bill and our rights in general. Let's be very clear about that. But they want you to stay in the emotional mindset, because if you stick to the emotional mindset, they can then convince you that you owe them your allyship for what they did in the past or whatever the situation may have you. Lastly, the criminal justice system uses this all the time, uses the Ben Franklin effect all the time. See, the judge may do a quote unquote favor for an inmate. Look at all the Black men who's been unwarrantedly arrested and jailed, mass incarcerated, who are actually innocent. The Innocence Project deals with a lot of people who have been railroaded into a prison cell. And somebody who's been railroaded into a prison cell and been there for 26, 30 years, who finally gets back into a court and gets a hearing, the judge might say something along the lines of, I don't even know how we got this far. This is an injustice. Why have this man been sitting in the cell for 26 to 30 years for something that we knew he didn't commit, because there's information right here that the DA refused to bring up to the courts? This is a mass injustice. And then he'll turn to the person who's been locked up and he says, sir, you're going home today. And I urge you to find an attorney and get justice for what happened to you. That person who heard the judge say that, he's going to be like, the only person that I got love for is the judge. As if the judge was doing him a favor, as if it wasn't justice for him to be released, as if it wasn't a part of his justice to get out and to get remedied for the time he spent in there falsely. That's a part of justice. So the judge isn't doing him any favors, but using the Ben Franklin effect, the inmate's going to go away thinking the judge did him a solid. If it wasn't for the judge, I would still be in there. Instead of taking the credit for never giving up, for never allowing the system to win because you knew you were innocent. The favors. That's what people tend to try to put on people, try to put on us, as if they've done us so many favors. Exactly, my sister. Mental codependence. It's all psychological. And this is why I hold so many of our Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. That's why I hold anybody from our community in high regards when it comes to psychology who speaks the truth to what's going on. Because everyone else uses these tactics against us. They use these tactics against us, and they do it in the most fictitious ways. But family, we've been breaking that paradox. We've been breaking out of the mental manipulation. The Ben Franklin effect is being shattered day by day by day. And these folks are hating it. And they're trying to find a new way to manipulate us back onto the plantations. Whether being Republican or rather being Democrats. They both do this. The Republican and the Democrat both use the same playbook. Exactly. They all participate in the system of racism. Salute to Drew Last, and thanks for your Cash App donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution, family. That's all it is. They all participate in the same system. They all use the same playbook. It's like two football teams passing the playbook, one coach passing it to the other coach passing it back, and they're making their plays off the same exact thing. Those chains are broken, exactly. But family, I want you to see this, and that's why I wanted to break down the Ben Franklin effect today. I wanted to break it down because after knowing what the Ben Franklin effect is, when you leave here and you go back and you start looking into the world, looking online, and start seeing all these things that people are saying, trying to get our attention, you'll be highly surprised by how many things actually apply to the Ben Franklin effect. And you'll be able to call it out by name. Oh, y'all trying to use that Ben Franklin effect on me. You trying to use the BFE on me? You can't use the BFE on me. You better go try that with somebody else. I'm way too intelligent to allow you to use the BFE on me. Because know it or not, family, they're out here using the BFE on each other. Oh, yeah. Y'all know about Trump bombing Iran nuclear bases. We did a broadcast on Monday talking about Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu being in collusion together or colluding together to deal with Iran, allegedly, in my humble opinion, I assume, due to the evidence that I showed here on Monday. But why do you think Trump decided to go ahead and drop them bombs? It wasn't what everybody expected, because he said he was going to make a decision in 2 weeks. Beforehand, he was so against it. He said he didn't want to have anything to do with it hands-on. He wanted plausible deniability. So why did he jump into the fold and drag America along with it? Well, this is called the Ben, and as a matter of fact, let me say his full name, the Benjamin Franklin effect. So is it any surprise that Benjamin Netanyahu used the Ben Franklin effect on Donald Trump to get him to do what he wants? To get America to kind of start siding on his side a little bit? Oh yeah, family. Let's take a little trip here down memory lane. Oh yeah, we're going to get into it, family. Like I said, we're going to expose what it is, and we're going to connect these dots, because these dots need to be connected. We ain't letting nobody play with us anymore. If it ain't your wife or your husband, they shouldn't be playing with you. Let's go here, family. Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying the same thing for over almost 2 decades now. Almost 2 decades. Let's go here.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
If not stopped.
I was wrong, family. I said almost 2 decades. It was exactly 3 decades. He's been saying the same thing for 30 years. For 30 years, Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying the exact same thing. So how did Benjamin Netanyahu convince Trump to overlook logic? Because everybody was saying the same thing. Well, he used his emotions. He spoke sweet nothings in his ear. Let's go here.
You have been the greatest friend that Israel has ever had in the White House. Frankly, though we've had some great, outstanding friends in these halls, it's not even close.
All right.
I also want to thank President Trump for all the things he did for Israel, from recognizing Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, to confronting Iran's aggression, to recognizing Jerusalem as our capital and moving the American embassy there. That's Jerusalem, our eternal capital, never to be divided again.
Salute them. Bad 74. Thank you very much for your 72. Excuse me. Thank you very much for your Cash App. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution, my sister. Let's go here.
I want to start by wishing a double happy birthday. First, happy birthday to you, President Donald J. Trump. You've been an extraordinary leader, decisive, courageous, clear vision, clear action. You have done great things for Israel. You've been an extraordinary friend to the Jewish state and to me personally. We've known each other for many years, and we appreciate what you're doing now, helping protect Israeli lives against the criminal regime in Iran. I want to wish also a 250th happy birthday to the American Army. The men and women of the armed services of the United States have protected freedom for 2.5 centuries. We would not have a free world without you. Thank you on behalf of free peoples everywhere. Today, Israel is defending freedom in the Middle East and beyond. We're doing so against a tyrannical and radical Iranian regime that wants to build atomic bombs to destroy us.
That is another great point, my sister Aquarius. Now, let me ask you this question. If Kamala was to get in office, do you think any of his rhetoric would have changed? Or would he be kissing brown butthole instead of pink?
And wants to build ballistic missiles, including intercontinental ballistic missile, to be able to threaten anyone and everywhere in the world. By defending ourselves, we're also defending others. We're defending our Arab neighbors, our Arab friends in peace. We're defending Europe. We're helping defend also the United States, which helps us all the time in our defense. This is an important mission. Right now, the Iranian regime is bombing our civilian neighborhoods while we are targeting the terrorists. Now, this is not new. They've tried to assassinate President Trump twice. They bombed American embassies. They killed.
Family, did y'all notice that he just tried to tie the assassination of President Trump, the attempted assassinations, to his enemies? That's some strong, that is some stuff. He is really laying it on thick. Salute Vince Singleton. I don't know why the hell I'm tripping. Vince Singleton, thank you for being here, family. I appreciate you for being here. Yeah, he definitely trying. He's laying it on thick.
241 Marines in Beirut. They killed and injured thousands of Americans with their IEDs in Iraq and Afghanistan. They burn the American flag. They chant endlessly, "Death to America." Our enemy is your enemy. And by doing what we're doing, we're dealing with something that will threaten all of us sooner or later. Our victory will be your victory. How do we intend to achieve that victory? Well, we've already done great things. We've taken out their senior military leadership. We've taken out their senior technologists who are leading the race to build atomic weapons that would threaten us, but not only us. We've done all that and many other things, but we are also aware of the fact that there's more to be done. So we're preparing. We paved the way to Tehran, and our pilots over the skies of Tehran will deal blows to the Ayatollah regime that they cannot even imagine. And I can tell you this, we have indications that senior leaders in Iran are already packing their bags. They sense what's coming. I'll tell you what would have come if we hadn't acted. We had information that this unscrupulous regime was planning to give the nuclear weapons that they would develop to their terrorist proxies. That's nuclear terrorism on steroids. That would threaten the entire world. This is what Israel is doing with the support, the clear support of the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the American people, and many others in the world. So with God's help, and with the goodwill and resolution of all free societies, we shall win.
Yeah, now we're there. We're there. Salute Aquarius minded. Also, I thought that they were in peace talks with Iran. Yeah, on Monday I played clips about that. But it seems that Trump said that he wants a non-stipulated agreement. He wants a non-stipulated agreement, which means he don't want them to ask for anything. He just wants them to agree to the peace treaty. So yeah, looks like we're going to be in some stuff for some time. Let's go here, because after sucking Benjamin Netanyahu got done sucking on the butthole of, the orange man and getting an orange ring lipstick around his lips, Donald Trump had to come out and make it known. So let's make it plain.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history
that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Family, when I said this man has used the Benjamin Franklin effect to a T, this man has perfected it. This man has perfected it. Remember, I told you about the cognitive dissonance, right? That you're going to go through once you do these things, right? Well, Trump was asked about Tulsi Gabbard and her testimony saying that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't know what he was talking about, that they didn't have the capability to build any nukes or anything like that. And so Trump had to, dig into that cognitive dissonance. Here's his response.
Always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon, but how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
Always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon, but how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
Family, Tulsi Gabbard is probably the only person who has the experience and know-how to actually give her expert opinion on a topic such as this. And Trump said he don't give a damn what she said. This is somebody in his cabinet, ladies and gentlemen. That's how hard the cognitive dissonance is cognitiving. That's how hard Benjamin then got into this man with the Benjamin Franklin effect. Oh yeah. That's what's going on here, family. If you didn't know what's going on, that's what's going on. Going to the person that you've been getting sugar from for decades and saying, hey, I now need you to give me a bag of sugar instead of a cup. Family, that's one of the major reasons why I wanted to do this broadcast today. Oh, before we get out of here, got to say this. To all the people running around here acting as if you're not Black American, or maybe you're not, but acting as if you don't stand with America because of this situation, move to wherever the hell you stand for. If you stand with Iraq, go stand with Iraq in Iraq. If you stand for Iran, go stand for Iran in Iran. You stand for Israel, go stand for Israel in Israel. Don't be here in America sitting here sounding like this.
Countries that this motherfucker's fucking with.
Hold up.
Attention, all countries that this motherfucker's fucking with. I need y'all to know that we don't have shit to do with this, okay? If you have any questions or concerns, this is where you send all inquiries. If you mad, you got beef, you want to squabble up, don't start no shit, won't be no shit, this is where you roll up. I do believe they open 24/7. I believe that.
This is how stupid this person is. They roll up there, guess what? Now there's going to be something popping off on American soil. Now, guess what? Martial damn law. Big Goofy. She's a part of the goof troops. Either way, our goddamn people are going to be pulled into it. But by you telling them to go over to the White House, guess what? Now you're pulling more Americans into it that readily wouldn't be pulled into it.
If you want to shoot some shit in the air, this is the primary address to the United States of America. This is where everything, because we don't have shit to do. No other state, no other state.
Family, this is how stupid people are. If they're launching anything at the White House, it's going to be big enough to take out at least Washington, D.C. And guess what? They don't have to actually send over a nuke to destroy Washington, D.C. They got other things that they can send over. And they got allies who have nukes. So this is what I'm saying. These people are freaking stupid. You're basically welcoming an attack on our own damn soil.
We don't even like them motherfuckers. This is what I will DM me. I'll send you the address. All right. Y'all have a good day now.
Somebody get this broad out the country. Send this broad over there to Iran or any other country that don't like Trump, because clearly it's more important to her to be freaking stupid than to understand the stuff that she's trying to pull and put onto this soil. Let's go here.
My name is Khadijah Coleman. I am a member of the Black people. I don't even want to associate.
I believe that she is a tether. The fact that she was about to say Black American community, she's not Black American. And she's not Black. I don't want to say she's not Black, but she's not ethnically Black. I can tell by the way she just did that. We're going to replay that.
Oh, Iran. My name is Khadijah Coleman. I am a member of the Black people. I don't even want to associate with the... Okay, if you're catching my drift. I seen that you tweeted, everybody's gonna feel it. Who is everybody? I have no dealings with those people. I feel...
Why do people think because you try to disassociate yourself from the president of the United States that you have no dealings with those people? Guess what, dumbass? You're in the country that man runs. You are American, whether by goddamn citizenship or by birth. Do you think they give a damn whether you like your president or not? And none of these idiots was saying any of this stuff when goddamn Ukraine was getting into it with goddamn Russia and America. Joe Biden was putting his foot and putting us into that nonsense too. Everybody hated Russia. Did nobody want to? When Zelensky came over here talking about sending our children to fight their war, nobody said nothing. And these people are running around here acting like the cowards they truly are, the fleers that they probably always have been.
Feel like you should target the orange person, the people who follow the orange person, but the people who look like me, we ain't even got no problem with you. We think you cool as fuck.
Let me be very clear. I'm going to say this one more time. Move over there then and see how cool as F they are. Because if, guess what, they target the president and they actually take out the president, you know what happens there? Do you know what happens? Invasion happens. If they take over the U.S., then guess what? They're bringing what they have over there over here. And I guarantee you, ma'am, would not be liking your treatment or the way women are treated over there in general. Shut your dumb ass up. Or move your ass over there, because you really don't deserve to be here at this point in time. You think they hella cool? Got it. Go over there and see if they're hella cool. Especially with the mouth you got. Especially with the way you dress. Because America has spoiled you to think that you can talk the way you talk and dress the way you dress all around the world. They will cut your head off and put it in a bread basket without a second damn thought in their mind.
If you ask me, I like them colors y'all be wearing. So I just wanted to come out and say, you know, just me to you. If you caught it, you caught it. And I fuck with you. Hello.
Take your ass over there. That's all. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Take your ass over there. Right. And where does it go right back to, my sister? Ignorance is bliss. That goes right back to the Benjamin Franklin effect. The cognitive dissonance. Yeah, a whole different level of stupidity. But family, I wanted to bring you this today. Because I wanted you all to see what's really been going on and the play that they've been really using on us and on each other. So now that you know what's going on, you know about this effect, I would suggest that you look this effect up a little bit more, dive a little bit deeper into it, study yourself to show yourself approved. And I guarantee you, every time you see this, you're going to be calling, oh, you out here trying to play me with that BFE. Hell no, get up out of here. Take your ass down the street and try to get some sugar from somebody else. We're done. And with that being said, family, if you ain't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. I want to thank each and every one of you for lending me your ear, your hearts, your minds. I also want to make sure that you guys know that everything that we are doing is spiritually ordained. Us breaking the shackles is spiritually ordained. Us taking every little tactic that they have and throwing it on the ground and stomping on it like it's a glass porcelain and shattering their beliefs, that's spiritually ordained. The Most High know who we are because we are the Most High. We are one. And everything is coming around. So we're going to have to just start calling everything out as we see it. And that was one of the major reasons why I wanted to talk about the Ben Franklin effect today, is because I've been seeing a lot of it. You don't see the petition. The petition is in the description. It should be. Let me see right quick. I'll do you one better. Oh, it's not in the description. Okay, cool beans. Well, let's do this then. 1 second, family. Give me 1 second. Oh, it is in the description. It just doesn't look like it. It usually shows a hyperlink. All right. Well, I'm going to drop it right here. So if you can't find it in the description, it is now in the chat, in the live chat. So if you're watching it on the playback, you'll have to scroll to the left in the comments and go to the live chat and click it there if you can't find it in the description. But family, much love to each and every one of you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to everyone who don't. Oh, snap. Shout out to the ears that hear the truth. I appreciate your Cash App donation, family. Yo, buzzer beater. I appreciate your contributions tenfold. Family, thank you all. And see, I got to say that all in. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for lending me your ears, your hearts, your minds. Thank you all for the donations, everyone who donated. Thank you to all the members. And with that being said, family, I will see you back here. It's either going to be tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm leaning more on Tuesday because like today, I might get called in to one of my drivers had an issue, so I have to cover for him. So that might be a thing tomorrow as well. So I might not do it tomorrow, but Tuesday, we're going to dig a little deeper into some things. With that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigger.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm off.